In her office, Olivia passionately presents a pitch to her client Haley Coden for the interior design of Sky Lounge at the Skyline Hotel. Mrs. Coden is thrilled with Olivia's vision and promises to be in touch. Her boss Jasmine tells her she thinks Olivia pulled off the pitch and congratulates her. She tells Jasmine how the place is close to her heart as she stayed there with her mother. Jasmine tells her that if the deal goes through, Olivia will officially become a partner. Olivia is thrilled and thanks Jasmine for letting her take a trip to Crescent Lake to help her dad get his hotel ready for the summer. Jasmine tells her to enjoy it and says that it might be her last trip for a while once she becomes a partner. Olivia is very excited and heads out of the office. She calls her dad Peter and asks if he needs anything on her way there. He tells her that the new chef will take care of dinner. Olivia is confused since she thought they would pick the chef after she designs the interiors. Peter tells her that she will love the new chef and can work with him on the place. He tells her he has hired celebrity chef Dax Hutton, who is famous for his work in New York. Olivia is still confused about how her dad got the chef, and he tells Olivia that Dax is exactly what the hotel needs, since he is a big name. Dax is very confused while searching for salt and cannot find what he wants. He ends up toppling some bottles while looking for options. Olivia spots his frustration and comes to help him. She picks up the bottles and asks if he needs help. When he says he needs salt, she tells him there are too many options and that they all just taste the same. He looks at her with judgment when she makes even more comments about the color of the salt. When he asks her who she is, she says she is just helping someone in need and hands him regular salt to try. Sensing a lot of attitude from Dax, Olivia decides to move away and wishes him luck. Her sister Abigail greets her at the hotel and Olivia is thrilled to meet her. She asks Abby how things are at the pottery studio and she informs Olivia that her husband Brian is taking care of it. Abby asks Olivia about her boyfriend, but she tells her something was missing, so they ended the relationship. She also says that she has no time for all this and has decided to take a dating break. Dax talks to his manager Nancy on the phone and tells her how he knows the last review he got was horrible. She tells him she tried to get him a good offer, but Catch on the Lake, a new extension for Peter's Hotel El Dorado, was the only place that made him an offer. Dax is frustrated with the place and complains about not having any salt options. Nancy tries to comfort him by telling him to take it as a change of scenery. Nancy assures him that she will check with other restaurants, but he needs to make his time there count. Olivia and Abby slowly walk up to Peter, who is talking on the phone and is thrilled to see his daughter back. Peter takes her to the area Olivia has to design and she thanks him for finally letting her do it. Abby gets a notification for product delivery and heads out with Peter. Olivia stays back to take some notes too close to the door, so when Dax tries to enter in a hurry, he bangs his head. She apologizes to him instantly and he tells her not to worry. They then realize they met at the supermarket and are confused about what the other person is doing there. Olivia tells Dax this is her dad's place and he recognizes her as the interior designer he keeps talking about. She then figures out that he must be the new head chef who does the fancy micro meals. Dax explains how they are called deconstructed dining experiences. Olivia is worried that the fancy food he makes will not gel well with the customers. Olivia tries hard to be polite but is unable to agree with his cooking methods. Dax taunts her with a comment about his food being meant for a sophisticated palate. They both are annoyed with each other's point of view, so Olivia decides to politely leave the room. At the reception, a woman enters with the product wearing noise-canceling headphones and is about to drop her items. Peter comes in to help her and she thanks him and apologizes for not seeing where she was going. She introduces herself as Bridget Benton and tells Peter how this place is beautiful but the food is not great. Peter tells her he has hired a new chef and Bridget realizes she is talking to the hotel owner and apologizes. Abby and Olivia share excited glances about the possible flirtation happening between them. Peter introduces his daughters and Bridget asks when the hotel will open, since she is planning a getaway. He asks if she is planning a romantic weekend and she nervously tells him she is single. Olivia discusses the design for the new place with Peter and tells him she wants to ensure the Catch feels like an extension of the El Dorado. She then asks if he has given Dax any directions on the menu, and Peter tells her he gave him full creative control. Olivia looks a little worried while Abby tells her about a gallery fundraiser she is holding with Brian to give back to the community. Dax then comes with the dinner options and offers them 3 very fancy options they all seem confused about. Olivia tries to lighten the mood by joking with Dax about the salt he used. Peter seems very confused about the menu while Olivia suggests they should try it out. Olivia and Abby tell Peter how these items are too fancy for their guests. Peter insists that these items will give the restaurant the upgrade it needs. Peter then requests Olivia to somehow figure out a way to work with Dax since they cannot afford to break his contract. Dax and Olivia start working together on the design and the menu and she shows him her ideas. He bluntly tells her he hates the designs. Dax feels if they make the place sophisticated, people will come there. Olivia thinks people might get scared off and avoid the place if it looks too exclusive. They cannot agree on anything, and Olivia tells him she wants to give her father something similar to the lake yacht theme he wants. Dax insists that her designs are boring and ordinary and brings out some of his own. Olivia comments on how he is stepping on her toes. Dax claims that if an interior designer gets to have opinions on the menu, he can have opinions on the designs. Olivia hates his designs, and just then, Peter walks in looking very nervous. He tells them how he decided to contact some restaurant critics before time, and a very important reviewer, Walter Gregson, has agreed to review them for his hometown Hotspot series. Dax points out how he is the biggest restaurant critic in North America. Peter tells them they just have a few days to get everything ready before the reviewer comes. Both Dax and Olivia seem nervous about that, and Dax asks if he can push the date more. Peter insists that it would be impossible to back out now. Dax and Olivia assure Peter they can manage everything. Olivia asks if Dax wants to get some air, and tells him how a bad review from someone like that could be the end of her dad's restaurant. Dax agrees and insists they should stick to his plan. Olivia is not buying anything he says, so she asks him to explain what happened at his last job, which made him take an offer here. He tells her he got a bad review from the same critic who is coming to review them, Walter Gregson. He tells her that the review was not his fault because there were too many opinions, but he was let go from the restaurant. Olivia then looks up the review and finds out the critic thinks Dax has a flashy style without any inspiration. He explains the management wanted the food, but he will never make such a mistake again. Olivia tells him again that her father has put everything in this business and they have no option but to make the place look authentic. Dax shows Olivia some other fancy starter options, which she still hates. She then asks if he can manage something simple like roasted chicken, which slightly offends him. He then suggests another option with excitement, but Olivia asks if he knows anything about Crescent Lake. She insists he needs to get to know the place to cook for them, so she takes him out. She gets him a Seattle-style hot dog, or a sea dog, and promises that it will be delicious. She tells him she wants something similar on the menu and clarifies that it can be an elevated version of this dish so they can compromise. Dax notices her holding onto her heart locket and comments on how he noticed her sister has it too. She tells him she has no idea what is inside it and how her mother gave it to them when they were young with hidden messages, but the key got misplaced. Peter helps Bridget unload the produce and comments on the changes in the menu excitedly. He then asks her if she can stay for dinner. Dax and Olivia then arrive, and Dax thanks Bridget for making another trip. Peter asks Dax for dinner and tells him he is making his famous ribs, which he has to try. At dinner, Dax tells them the spring fair Olivia took him to was inspiring, and she tells Peter and Bridget about how she made Dax taste the sea dog. Peter then asks about their progress, and Olivia tells them they are off to a good start. Olivia and Dax then share a cute moment as they both try and pass the wine to Peter. Dax compliments the ribs, and Peter tells him his secret and how he uses crushed pineapple to give it a better texture and flavor. Dax is impressed by the combination. The next morning, Dax shows Olivia some other items he prepared after getting inspired by the place. When Olivia seems confused, he tells her the color palette is inspired by it. She tells him they can just pause on the menu for a bit and start with the designs first. She takes him to the restaurant and shows him the colors she has chosen. She explains how they both had different opinions, so she went with shades in the middle. They then notice the landscape, and Dax comments on how it is easier to notice things when you slow down. Olivia reminds him how a lot of work needs to be done. They start transforming the place and have a lot of fun working with each other and playing around with the items in the restaurant. They soon turn it into a very pretty setting. Olivia brings some boxes to the bar. Olivia gets excited when she finds her mom's stuff. Olivia shows him the picture of her mom, Sandra, and Dax smiles. She then spots her mom's takeout menus. She explains how she had a rigorous rating system for the items she tasted on the menu. Dax is impressed by the collection and comments on how some of them are 20 years old. He asks if he can hold on to them a little longer, and Olivia agrees. They then get ready to paint, and Olivia tells him how she wants something for the place that is unique to the family and special. Dax then points out how she missed a spot, and when she cannot see anything, she starts putting paint on his outfit. Abby comes in looking worried, and Olivia asks her about it. She tells them how her caterer bailed for the pottery show, and she has no idea how she will get someone else in just 2 days. Olivia then asks her if Dax can do it. She suggests how it could be a good trial run on a smaller scale so Dax can try out some recipes for their restaurant menu. Dax likes that idea, and Abby is thrilled he is willing to help. Dax then tells Olivia she needs to be his sous chef. Olivia and Abby are preparing for her fundraiser when Abby tells her she is worried because the fundraiser is very important. Olivia then gets a call from her boss where Jasmine tells her they have successfully landed Skyline as their client, and she is sending her the brief fire email. Olivia says she thought the start date was not for a few more weeks, but Jasmine insists she might have to cut her trip short. When Olivia says she cannot leave sooner, Jasmine tells her it is important as a partner of the most sought-after design firm. Jasmine also tells her how they got a new designer to work on Skyline. Olivia is a little confused that another designer is going to work on her project, and when she checks the email, she hates the designs. Peter and Dax meet Olivia and finalize the fabric for the curtains. Peter asks them about their plans, and Olivia informs him how they are handling Abby's fundraiser. As Olivia and Dax are walking, she asks him if he travels a lot for work and how it must affect his relationships. He tells her the only relationship he has is with his restaurant, and anything else comes after that. Olivia completely agrees that relationships take away a lot of energy that can be put into work instead. She then tells him she is taking a dating break and he thinks it is a great idea. They reach the design studio and Abby hands them aprons to start working on their stations. Olivia insists they can just buy some pieces, but Abby says it will be fun. Dax and Olivia then reluctantly sit down to make some pottery while Abby gives them instructions about working on the wheel. Olivia and Dax look at each other and laugh about how they do not understand anything Abby said. Dax then teases Olivia about her focus face and she also comes up with one for him. Abby then comes over again and tells them they are having too much fun. She asks if they are ready with their pieces or if that was just a practice round. They look at their disfigured pots and agree it is just for practice. When Abby leaves, they just decide to buy some pieces instead of making something. Dax asks Olivia if she thinks they can serve salad in the pot he made and jokes about hoping it can be a centerpiece. Olivia laughs and tells him to not get his hopes up too much. Abby asks if they like something and Olivia picks out a pot. Dax tells Olivia he needs to go work on the recipes and asks if she will taste test them. She tells him she will just check if Abby needs help and come to him. Abby is happy and notices how Olivia is finally having some fun. She tells her she has not seen her smile like that in a while and comments on how she and Dax make a great team. Dax gets a call from Nancy who tells him he has an offer at a trendy bar in South Village, and they want him tomorrow. He tells her he cannot just leave Catch because Walter Gregson is coming to review the place, and he has commitments. Nancy assures him they can find another chef, but he firmly tells her he will not leave them hanging. Peter looks nervous and asks Olivia if he can invite someone to the fundraiser. Olivia assures him that he should call her. She tells him she has not seen him that excited in a while. Peter then calls Bridget and she agrees to come as his date. Olivia brings special smoked salt for Dax, just as he likes, and he feels very touched. She then hurriedly tells him the sooner they establish the place, the sooner they can get back to their lives. They then start cooking and again have a good time preparing the dishes. Dax then tells Olivia to close her eyes so he can make her taste the recipes he finalized. He makes her taste a sea dog-inspired popper and she loves it. He tells her it meant a lot to her so he made it in a way he feels is appropriate. He then shows her another version of her mother's favorite dish and then makes her taste the final appetizer. Olivia feels it is missing something and picks out cardamom to put over it and makes Dax taste it. Dax is impressed with her nose and takes notes. Olivia is working when her dad comes to talk to her. He asks about her life in Seattle and she tells him how taking a break from her current job is proving to be very tough. She tells him how her boss sent her a brief that is very different from what she had in mind. Now that she is the manager, she does not have much say in it. Peter tells her he has seen a lot of change in her in the past few days and she seems less stressed. He tells her in case she needs guidance, he has a letter for her which she should open when she is ready. Dax is sitting under the stars and Olivia comes to join him. He tells her how much he appreciates the stars and tries to show her a constellation. They get close enough and it seems like they are about to kiss, but Olivia pulls back and tells Dax she should go. He agrees and she wishes him goodnight. Olivia is decorating the restaurant and shows it to Dax, who makes his adjustments. She asks if he is excited and Dax tells her if everything goes well, he will be closer to a good review. He then tells her he has something for her and presents her with a sous chef cap. She tells him she looks like a marshmallow and they both laugh. They reach Abby's fundraiser where a woman asks them who did the catering. Olivia tells her about the new chef of Catch on the Lake did it, which reopens next week. The woman is impressed and promises to be there. Olivia and Dax are happy people that are loving the food. Someone then spots Dax's droopy pot and wants to bid on it. Everyone is very confused, but Abby decides to open it up for bidding. Olivia then invites Dax for a bonfire that night and he agrees to come. Peter comes over and tells Dax he is glad he chose to come with them even if he knows a small place like this was not his first choice. Dax also says he is glad to be there. At the bonfire, Abby discusses how shocked she is that Dax's pottery piece sold for the highest amount. She tells them how they raised much more than what they were expecting. All the couples then get up to dance and Dax asks Olivia to dance with him. They all have a good time and Dax and Olivia especially enjoy their dance. Olivia then sits down and Abby comes right next to her. She teases Olivia about dating breaks and Olivia tells her that Dax is great but she has to go to Seattle soon and Catch will need Dax, so she cannot break the dating break. Abby tells her how love is a funny thing and it will sneak up on her when she is not expecting. She then asks Olivia to just keep herself open to possibilities. Olivia and Dax excitedly show the interiors to Abby and Peter, who feel the setting is perfect. Dax then brings the food he and Olivia have agreed upon and starts serving them. He presents 3 items that are sophisticated yet simple for people to understand. He then shows them the special sauces inspired by Peter and Sandra and even shows them how he took the liberty to prepare bottles of Peter's special pineapple barbecue sauce. Peter tears up and tells Dax how perfect everything is. He then insists that Dax should join them for food and Dax feels honored. The food critic is about to arrive and everyone feels nervous. Olivia gets a call from Jasmine who asks why she is not back yet. Jasmine tells her how Mrs. Coden has moved the date up again and tells Olivia to be more present if she wants to stay at Wayward as a partner. Jasmine then warns Olivia that if she does not reach by tomorrow, they might have to reconsider her position and remove her as a partner. Dax, Peter, and Olivia try to peep through the door while the critic is eating and wonder if he likes it or not. From his poker face, none of them can tell what he is thinking. As he starts writing something, Olivia takes the opportunity to go and serve him water. Olivia notices a message on Dax's phone where Nancy is telling him how another restaurant has doubled their offer and wants him. She feels betrayed and immediately packs her bags and begins to leave. She tells Peter and Dax her work is done there and that Dax can just take things forward unless he has some other commitments. Dax is very confused and runs after her to ask what is wrong. She tells him she knows Crescent Lake is not fancy, but she thought he would be with them since her family is counting on him. Dax is still very confused, but Olivia just storms out and leaves. Back in her office, Olivia makes some calls for available chefs since she feels Dax is leaving soon. She then opens the letter her dad gave her and finds a tiny key, which opens her necklace. She reads the message inside it with a look of understanding in her eyes. She then gets a letter from Mrs. Coden telling her how she liked her original designs and does not like any of the changes that were made. Jasmine walks in and Olivia asks why she offered her the partnership. Jasmine tells her it is because she brought the biggest client to them. Olivia tells Jasmine she knows she lied to her and how everything she told her about dates moving up and the new designs is all against what the client wants. Jasmine insists that the new designer is good for the company. Olivia tells her how different her designs are from what Mrs. Coden wants. She then also gives her official resignation and quits, telling Jasmine that she cannot work for a company that goes behind her back and doesn't value her instincts. Olivia calls Abby and apologizes for leaving quickly. She also tells her how she thinks Dax is planning to leave. Abby then tells her how Dax signed a 3-year contract and how she has him wrong because he cares about their family business. Olivia then tells Abby that she just quit. Abby is happy because she feels they never valued her. She also tells Olivia to get there soon. Peter thanks Dax for everything he has created there with Olivia. Dax tells Peter he loved working on it and thinks his daughter is very special. Peter then gives a speech on the reopening and introduces Dax to everyone. He tells them all to enjoy and Dax heads out for a bit, looking sad. Olivia then comes and hugs Peter and tells him she is trying to follow her heart. She then goes looking for Dax and finds him. Olivia tells Dax how she knows he is staying and he tells her he never actually intended to leave. He tells her he is proud of the menu he created at Crescent Lake and is passionate about working here. Olivia tells him she might stick around too as she has quit her job. She says she had to listen to her gut. She apologizes to him again for not trusting him and leaving abruptly. She tells him she always puts work first, but she will not do it anymore. She then shows him the message inside her pendant. He reads the message from her mom telling her to value love. Peter excitedly calls Olivia and Dax inside to show them Walter Gregson's review. They learn how he gave them a perfect review with a specific mention of the decor and the food. They are all very excited just when Mrs. Coden walks in. Olivia is surprised to see her and Mrs. Coden introduces herself to Olivia's family. She tells Olivia she has come there to see the place in person after Jasmine told her she was working on the project there. She asks Peter if he is interested in franchising because she is interested in going to a sister restaurant. Olivia clarifies she does not work for Jasmine. Mrs. Coden tells her she knows that, but Olivia's vision is much better than theirs and she wants to work with her. Olivia and Dax then discuss the new developments and get excited about working on a new restaurant together. Dax seriously tells her how he was very unsure initially, but being with her makes him feel like he does not want to be anywhere else because she challenges him and helps him grow. They then share a beautiful kiss.